Hi everyone, welcome back to the bench, and this thing obviously is looking very good now. And I hadn't really had notification that this thing was in the UK yet, but the grip has arrived for the AKM build, and I went with an MOE AK grip in black, just because it was the colour that I could get in black to match everything else with the build, and it was the only one that was really in stock. So we're going to get this fitted to the AKM. It's going to be a relatively short video, I hope, unless we run into an issue. Let's pop the grip off here with a flat head. So I'm not sure if we're going to run into an issue in terms of mounting it, because this screw obviously goes from the bottom of the grip and reaches all the way to the top, where the MOEs don't. They have a very short throw. But it depends on whether that screw's the same. I'm going to guess it's not going to be the same. But if we need to, we'll have to find a screw from somewhere. Yeah, that looks different. So that bolt is obviously a lot chunkier. So I'll have to have a look around and see what I can find. And see if we can get this thing fitted. So in terms of fitting it to the replica, it goes straight on. I can't really see it fouling anything. Let's flip this round. So it seems to go on perfectly fine and match up. So I think there's a little bit of a gap, but not that you're going to see or notice. So I'm going to have to find a bolt. So let me have a look through my bolt bits, because I do have bolts and screws all over the place. So let me see if I can find something. Now this never happens, ever. The first bolt I picked up was just randomly on like one of those magnetic trays. The first bolt I picked up has gone straight in. So I'm hoping this reaches. I might have to put like the washers and such off this one, try and help it lock it into place and give it a bit of a wider girth. Let's take that little washer off and we'll see. So what size is this? Is it a 4? Everything seems to be a 4mm at the moment. It goes through and it looks like that washer is going to help grab that screw. So this could be the easiest part ever to fit. Probably do with being a little bit longer. Yeah, it needs to be a little bit longer. So it would have been too easy, wouldn't it, if that was the case? So I need to find something like that that's longer. Okay, so we have another candidate. It's a little bit longer. Looks the same thread size. What we could try is fitting it without the washer. Let's give that a go. It does stick through a lot further. It looks like it'll be fine. But what we need is a lot of engagement on the thread. So this is going to be a bit awkward. I'll prop this up. Line it up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's going to be all right. I'm not going to Loctite it at the moment. Just because the last thing I want to do is Loctite it and then have to take it apart for whatever reason. So there we go. This is actually just, it was a stock screw off like a cheap AR type thing, and yeah, well, that works. So in fact, it might not be that, it might have been something else. I think it was off a spring guide. That one wasn't, but the one that's in there is. So yeah, just a case of finding something that's lying around, and now this thing looks modern AF. Get rid of this grip, that's no good. These are much more comfortable. Obviously save all these bits just in case. But going through the bits, I found the flash hider that was on the MDR. And this is like a 308 style flash hider. And I'm just thinking it might be a good stopgap because at the moment I don't have anything else that suits this build. So let's see, this might suit it. I might want to just chuck an O-ring on there because there's quite a big like gap around here, so let's find an O-ring. Oh, in the mountain of parts everywhere, I've got to get organised. I do have an O-ring, cheap O-ring set here, so let's see. That might work, it might be a bit too big. And this is just to help sort of centre it so we can clock it properly. Let's pop that on. Oh, shoots off over the bench and hard to reach. Let's get the old tweezers. If you don't have a set of these in your toolkit, I'm not sure where these come from. I think it actually came from like another little tool set. I had some ceramic ones as well. They're worth their weight in gold, especially when your fingers aren't precise enough to hold something. So that's just going to give us something to screw against. And we'll shove this on. I think this is going to look better. That O-ring helps us center everything. Gives us a bit of pushback when turning the threads. It's got a little grub screw on the bottom there so we can secure it. Which isn't a 1.5, it looks like it's a 2. Yeah. Oh, there we go. And I think I'm going to rock that for a bit because that looks pretty damn chunky and cool. Kind of goes with the build. I've been perusing multiple airsoft websites looking for flash hiders. The one that come the closest to looking like what's on the SAGs, which is on the SAG website, the one that came looking closest to that was an Angry Gun, which was the DAKM or something like that, the DAKM, D-A-K-M. Could I get it in counterclockwise? No, everyone's got it, but it's in clockwise, which is useless. So, oh, look at that, superb. I'm going to leave this gun alone. I know I Cerakote pretty much everything because I like tarting the guns up to look special, but I think I'm going to leave this as black. I mean, just look at it. I think it looks fantastic. Not sure if that's going to be the optic or whether I'm going to get like a Holosun or something on there. Bavtak has a Somo gear order coming in soon, I think. So he's got some Engals, so I've asked for dibs on one of those. The Engal is tan, but I think the real ones are tan, so it doesn't bother me that much. I mean, if it does, I'll put it on something else and I'll perhaps steal the PEC 15 and put the PEC 15 on there. What did I do with that PEC 15 actually? Where did it go? PEC 15, where are you? I think it might be on the Mark 18. But yeah, I did try it with the Maul. I didn't really like how sort of chunky it was in this area. The grip I love because I can hold the handguard like that and have a hand stop, but then when coming into like close quarter environments, having that there quite close and I'll collapse the stock down, it's really pointable and maneuverable, even with the weight. I was going to get some of the new AKX mags, but as soon as I found out that the outer shell's metal like these ones, it just doesn't make any sense. There's no point having a magazine that's meant to be polymer made out of metal that's probably just as heavy, if not heavier than these. So I'm going to stick with the AKM mags. Got 6 of them at the moment, might try and pick up some more. And I'm looking at like plate carrier options and stuff now for carrying AK mags. There's not really much out there where you can buy a plate carrier fully set out. I do want to get a new plate carrier for my MWS setup as well, which I think I'm looking at the Agilite ones, which is, I think, an Israeli company, if I'm right. So, might get one of those. Who knows? We'll have to wait for the funds to top back up because some of the money that I'd put aside from selling bits and pieces here and there, I've just sponged onto this. So, that's how I do most of my builds. I mean, a lot of people say, well, you've got all this money you're throwing around on all these fancy parts, and all the builds are expensive, and yeah, but I also do I have had a lot of guns. I sell them. If I've got something that's sat on the shelf that I'm not feeling anymore, I'll sell it and I'll fund better things. So this is superb. I am chuffed to bits how it came out. I still need to do the inner barrel and hop, which we will do. I did say that this was going to be the same size, but it's not. The standard AKM barrels are 200mm. Thank you to Bavtac for correcting me on that, where this is 250. So if it does bump the power up, because these do, like on heavier BBs, they do dual creep a bit, I'm going to be looking at perhaps either doing it through Jaeger or doing it with Bavtac and finding a solution to slightly lower the power on both this and the MWS. I've got some ideas which have come from a failure on dynamic precision. Is it dynamic precision part? So working on some things on that line. I've got the Jaeger MDR nubs coming for the Silverback MDRX, which is an upgrade from the already high nub that you get in there, and also with the help of none other than Bavtac as well, because he's a bit of a wizard on CAD. We've come up with a new handguard for the MDR. It's not too dissimilar from the standard one, but it does tick a box that I've been trying to solve for the past few months. So I'll release more on that handguard when I have it. We obviously need to do some testing. I am looking for testers of the MDR nubs. Obviously, I'll ship some to Jason at Longbow because he supported me for him to have a play with. But if you are out there, not really necessarily looking for performance feedback. I just want feedback whether you have any fitment issues. Is there any dimensions that need like sort of tying up? But I'm pretty sure it's going to be good to go when they're done, when they're finished. Thanks for shooting this video. The AKM is looking fantastic, isn't it? It is a bit of a ball ache having to sort of drop this off to take the dust cover and the bolt out properly. But to be honest with you, the only reason I'd be taking these bits apart is if I have an issue. So once the barrel and the hop sorted and I've got the FPS where I need it to be, I don't plan on messing around with it. So this thing is pretty cool. I know I had a discussion with Bavtac earlier today of when I'm filming this about those Bowmaster recoil springs. So I think he's going to work on something in between the Marui and the Bowmaster, because the Bowmaster is very chonky, but it does sound and feel very good indeed. So thanks for tuning this video. Just tying up some loose ends on the AKM with this grip now, and it's absolutely, I love Magpul products. I love their stocks and grips and anything like that. So these parts here, that is what I'll use. It works, it's comfortable, it's very inexpensive. You know, the grips, 25 to 30 quid, same as these, about 20-25 quid. The stocks do tend to be expensive. They'll be about 90, but honestly, it's probably the best. I don't buy copy stocks like this anymore. I only buy real ones because it's just a false economy, and I like my shit to be rigid AF. I have to watch the use of the F word now, so I try and stop myself. So yeah, thanks for tuning this video, and of course, from me and Bench, I'll see you in the next one.